about our story. And Jeff was the missionary man from Tucson, Arizona, and I was the little heathen in Wales. But about a year prior to that, I was 14 years old, and met this guy in a pub, because I did that way too early, and he's cute, and all my friends had a boyfriend and stuff like that. And I got into a relationship with this guy who turned out to be a very, very abusive man, and was, as Jeff said, took what was Jeff's before I was ready for it. And I was in a relationship with him for 8 months, and shortly after that ended, Jeff, missionary man, came. I was 15 years old.
I was part of a team of people. It wasn't just me. I was part of a big team of people, and we were there just to tell people about Jesus, and that God loved them, God liked them, and that there was a new kind of life, a different way of life for people, and we just sort of ended up, not entirely by plan, in Christine's village down in South Wales. So we came and we were doing drama and stuff on the street and in the park, and Christine came and saw, and stuff started happening with her.
Yeah, there's this idea that they spoke about becoming, as they said, a new creation, which I remember feeling very dirty at the time. I felt like used lip gloss or used up socks or whatever. And they were talking about this idea of a new creation, and that sounded quite nice. The idea of you can start again with a clean slate, and God doesn't hold this against you. And so what I did was I asked God to come into those where explain it better than me, Jeff.
Yes, God to come into your life and
come
make you a
into
new
my
person.
life and make me into this new creation, and he did, and it's like great, all that stuff that went on before, it's gone, it's over, I'm starting again, I'm a clean person. It really felt like a clean person.
Well, because it wasn't just I'm going to turn over a new leaf, but it was an actual massive internal change where God actually did come and change Christine's life inside.
And so life went on. I was a Christian, and when I was the end of when I was 15, just before I turned 16, I got into another relationship with a Christian guy who was 11 years older than me, and I spent a lot of time with him. We spent a lot of time together. He had a flat. I hated school. I ended up staying in his flat instead of going to school, and spending so much time together. One thing led to another, and another, and there I was a used up sock again, and like this. And I was like, oh great, what can I do now? I've already done the thing of asking Jesus to come into my life and make me new, and now I've gone and I've spoilt it all again after I've become a Christian. What do you do now? And but I found that even after I became a Christian, I could still take this back to God and say, God, I did this, and I'm sorry, and I messed up. But God could make me clean even then. And that was it. I got made clean and didn't do it again.
When Christine and I got married, and after our wedding, when we shot out of there as quickly as possible. I don't know why people hang out after their weddings. They should just were like, okay, fine, we've cut some cake, we're out of here. You guys have a party. And we, and of course, you go, you have sex when you get married. On your wedding night, you do. And
Nobody's talking about it.
and it was, I hadn't had sex before we were married. Christine had. But the work that God did in Christine's life and our lives, it was for both of us, it was a brand new thing.
Can you stop doing that with
and so we just wanted to finish tonight with this idea of grace, that no matter what has happened up to this point, God is always able to make things new. God is always able to rebuild things. You think of, just finish off with this picture. You think of a garden that someone comes and trashes it and pours oil on the ground and cuts down all the trees and stuff like that. Over time, that garden is going to regenerate, it's going to regrow. The damage that was done will be undone. And that happens over time because creation heals itself. The physical world is made in such a way it heals itself over time. But what happens is that in our lives, when there are things where we don't honor this fantastic sexuality that we have, then there can be a measure of healing over time, or there can be where God coming in and we say, God, can you restore what I've lost, what I've given up, what was taken from me? And He will. And it's just like if someone was to come in to that ruined garden and start working on it and tear out the old dirt and remake it, it's going to happen a lot more faster, a lot more complete, and it's going to be a lot more wonderful. And that's what God can do in our lives. No matter whether we've just whether we felt like we've done something we've really dishonored the gift that God has given us, or we're just thinking, about now, instead of thinking about, you've got a husband or a wife somewhere down the road probably, that you've got a gift to get through, and you're just treating it lightly. Either way, there's a way you can just come and say, God, I haven't honored the gift that you gave me to give to someone, and I want to start now, and I want you to come and do the work inside of me, do that new thing, do that new making thing.